The 2023 Toyota Sequoia in-depth review. Hello guys, today we are going to give you in-depth review of the latest car, that is the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. Here we go. Truck-based SUVs had significantly greater capacity when it comes to towing or negotiating certain types of terrain. But its structure has certain drawbacks in terms of ride comfort, economy, and other factors. The 2023 Toyota Sequoia, which arrives on the heels of a new Tundra truck, is a terrific reminder that life is full of sacrifices, and it's up to you to decide whether the juice is worth the squeeze. The Sequoia was over 10 years old when it was eventually updated, and the enormous jump in style reflects that. The 2023 Sequoia, like its Tundra sister, had some muscular new looks that I particularly like. There are several interesting angles and curves, such as the prominent indentations at the fenders and the stylish design of the headlamps. It has a strong presence, and not simply because it takes up every available parking space. The inside is also appealing, but it is far from ideal. While I appreciate the necessity for tough materials in a more robust product, I am astonished by the sheer volume of rock-hard plastic in my $70,000 Sequoia Platinum tester. Everything that appears to be metal is not, albeit the copious usage of leather across the most common contact areas elevates things slightly. The slick plastic surrounds of the third row might make passengers in the back feel more like bags than humans. The Toyota Sequoia has always been a full-size, three-row SUV built on the Tundra pickup truck chassis. That will not alter with the arrival of the new generation for the 2023 model year. The rest follows suit. The new Sequoia is significantly more contemporary than the second-generation Sequoia it replaces, which has been on the market for more than a decade. The new Sequoia has the Tundra's E-Force Max hybrid powertrain, which combines a 3.4-liter V6 engine with an electric motor to produce 437 horsepower. Inside, it has a huge touchscreen with the most up-to-date software, as well as a three-row interior with seats for up to 8 passengers. While the Sequoia's modernity allows it to compete with rivals such as the Chevy Tahoe and Ford Expedition, the Toyota's interior capacity and cargo area limit its use. The Toyota Sequoia gets a new page after 14 years and is finally updated for 2023. Aside from its eye-catching turbocharged V6 hybrid power plant, the style and functionality of this third-generation Sequoia have been substantially upgraded. Nonetheless, the Sequoia appeared antiquated in the midst of our 2023 SUV of the Year competition. This full-efficiency sizes is much improved by hybridization. It achieves higher city fuel economy than its V8 predecessor achieved on the interstate. The merger of the V6 and electric motor, on the other hand, has divided views. It seems like a V8 with something more to it, as if there is an unseen force propelling the vehicle ahead. Senior editor Aaron Gold said. Feature editor Christian Seabaugh, on the other hand, believed the powertrain slingshots the Sequoia ahead, and that, despite boosted engine noises roaring through the interior, it isn't as speedy as it wants you to think it is. When doing low-speed maneuvers, the engine shuts down to save fuel and lurches significantly when it restarts. Engine transmission and performance. Every 2023 Toyota Sequoia is a hybrid, albeit a powerful one. A 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 combines with an electric motor to generate a total of 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque, which is routed through a standard 10-speed automatic gearbox. The phony V8 soundtrack, fed through the speakers, sounds rather decent as the Sequoia pulls away from the line with power. And all that propulsion helps the SUV reach a darn respectable tow rating of 93 pounds. The tester, on the other hand, is not the smoothest operator on the block, with a few shudders every time the engine cuts in or out. When the V6 is turned off, the tachometer needle suddenly disappears from the gauge cluster, which is strange. Upshifts on the 10-speed are often imperceptible. However, certain low-gear downshifts while braking is fairly obvious. However, the brakes themselves are powerful and simple to operate. All of that complicated electro-trickery results in some remarkable fuel economy for a vehicle the size of the Sequoia. The federal government rates two WD versions at 21 mpg in the city, 24 mpg on the interstate, and 22 mpg combined. Those figures are not difficult to attain, though, and I often see 70 mpg interstate driving pushing into 30 mpg. An incredible effort for a Brooklyn studio apartment on wheels. Unfortunately, the Sequoia's coil spring suspension and live rear axle put a stop to any sense of smoothness in terms of ride comfort. This SUV drives like an empty truck, which is not a praise. Every little pockmark on the road is transmitted through the suspension and into the cabin, causing far more trembling and bobbing than I'd want in a family car. Given that the Sequoia's price ranges from around $60,000 to over $80,000, I'd love to see some adjustable dampers or air suspension here, which would greatly enhance day-to-day use. Sure, the Sequoia is pretty smooth when the ground is nearly glass, but how many of you live in that kind of neighborhood? Throw in some extremely light steering and a body that's nearly as wide as most lanes, and you have got yourself a hot handling disaster. This powertrain combines a twin-turbo 3.4-liter V6 engine and an electric motor to provide 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. The Sequoia SUV gets the same 10-speed automatic transmission as the Tundra. Rear-wheel drive is standard, with four-wheel drive available on most models and standard on the off-road focused TRD Pro. The Sequoia Capstone we tested sped to 60 mph in 5.6 seconds and ran a quarter mile in 14.3 seconds at 94 mph. This is faster than the last GMC Yukon Denali we drove, but somewhat slower than the Ford Expedition Timberline. The hybrid configuration of the new Sequoia makes it substantially more efficient than the previous generation. Rear-wheel drive variants get 21 mpg in the city, 24 mpg on the interstate, and 22 mpg combined. According to the EPA, choosing four-wheel drive reduces those figures somewhat to 19 mpg city, 22 mpg highway, and 20 mpg combined. We'll put the Sequoia through our real-world 75 mph highway fuel efficiency test once we get our hands on it. Interior and exterior features. The vast cabin of the Sequoia continues in this current version, with a third row of seats as standard equipment. A second-row bench seat with an 8-passenger capacity is standard, with second-row captain's chairs available to reduce the number of seats to 7. Headroom is limited in both rear rows, especially when the optional panoramic sunroof is installed. Interior trim choices range from fabric to leather upholstery and varied amounts of wood and chrome trim as you move up the pricing ladder. Heated and cooled second-row seats, a panoramic sunroof, and a premium sound system are available on higher model levels. The Sequoia's cargo space is not as large as that of competitors. There is just 12 cubic feet of cargo capacity with the back seat in place, and folding the third row down does not result in a level load floor. The obsolete touchscreen layout of the original Sequoia has been replaced by the huge 14.0-inch touchscreen seen in the Tundra. This screen is standard on all models, save the base SR5, and will employ Toyota's newest infotainment software, which includes smartphone mirroring and other connection features, like as a Wi-Fi hotspot and different music streaming choices. Concerns regarding the chassis were widespread. On bumpy terrain, guest judge Gordon Dickey saw shimmying typical of body-on-frame construction and severe body roll on the smooth handling course. Brady couldn't help but notice how the front end seems rounded, yet there is a continual bounce from the rear. Gold described the Sequoia's driving qualities as big car clunky. Toyota aficionados and Tao enthusiasts will find something to like in the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. It's quiet enough, it's competent, and it's crammed with current technology. If you don't need all this three-row SUV has to offer, the competition will leave you feeling more at ease and collected. The Sequoia comes standard with all available driver assistance systems. Visit the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and Insurance Institute for Highway Safety websites for further information on the Sequoia's crash test results. The following are important safety features: Forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking are standard features. Lane departure warning and lane keeping assistance are standard. Adaptive cruise control is standard. With this, we end our in-depth review for the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. For more updates, please subscribe our channel Latest Luxury Cars and stay tuned for more updates on latest luxury cars. Thank you.